Welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my partner, Joe Cool.
What's going on?
All right, so the season has started, preseason.
Back in the game.
Yeah, we 2 games in. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the 2 games and then where we think the Knicks should or could go from there, or maybe, But well, you already know that I was at the game.
Yeah.
The Indiana game.
He ain't even take me, y'all. That's crazy.
Couldn't do it. But yeah, that was it was nice too. It was the garden was rocking. You know one thing I want to say too before we start. And then please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Past couple of weeks, the comments has been very, very low compared. And also the likes. If you're looking at it, please just hit the
y'all
like
love
button.
us anymore?
Yeah, I was watching and it was funny. I don't know if you know who Gene Deal, Puffy's old bodyguard. I watch his show a lot, even though I like Puffy too, but his stuff is just interesting. And there's somebody else's show that comes on, Dream something. This guy talks about the Knicks. But anyway, I was shocked that because their numbers are so high that they both were saying the same thing, that to their audience, only 33% of y'all are subscribed. And they got huge, crazy numbers. But so I just thought it was a problem that just little guys like us got.
Well, I think it's because, we're all grown folk and we don't sign into YouTube. So we kind of just go on YouTube, type it in, and it comes up. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. I know y'all love us, but.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But support the channel, you know what I mean? Just
Hook some brothers up.
Hit the like, subscribe. Matter of fact, put a coffee mug in the chat if you don't feel like saying anything but support. 2 coffee mugs. 2 games passed, put 2 coffee mugs in the chat.
There you go. All right, so the Detroit game was the first preseason game. And of course that was a good game. One of the impressive things, and which in both games, they scored 65 at the half in the Detroit game. They scored 70 to 75 at the half in the Indiana game. So that's crazy. But some of the things I noticed before we start talking about the game, some of the things I noticed from the game that came to my mind while I was watching it was the commitment to the break, advancing the ball to the open man to create opportunities. They said they was going to do that. That first game, they did that. Like a lot of occasions when somebody got the ball, their first instinct was to advance the ball up the court. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'm looking at it. I wasn't even so much looking at the outcome right away, just the thought process of doing it. So we saw that. I saw in Brunson, like in the first half, he drew 3 charges. Like you can tell that's going to be a part of his staple.
The defense.
Yeah. So first game was good shot selection. Looked like in the first game, Randall was picking his spots. Yeah. We might not have the greatest go-to guy, but at least he was, trying to figure it out where I can fit in. Because I'm still going to do my Randall stuff. I don't care what nobody say. That's just a player's mentality.
I think he stayed for the first 2 preseason games. I don't know how long that's going to last, but he was pretty humble and playing. Yeah.
But when we get to the second game, I'll notice something else. But yeah, he's saying all the right stuff. Everybody was involved in that first game. One of our biggest pet peeves in the past that stood out to me was our points off the turnovers. We had something like 33 points off turnovers. Usually that's what teams do to us.
McBride had
McBride has. He did. And then also with Reddish. But everybody was getting into the passing lane. That kind of reminded me of 2 years ago when it seemed like when that ball came, we knew it and we was on top of it. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson had they went to him in the post and he put an up and under on a guy. He made the shot, but it was 3 seconds. So I think that we have to exploit that. Like that's got to be a part in our wrinkle. And then especially like isolate him, because you notice we picked up Othello Harrington to bring in as an assistant coach. So he's sort of a low post player. It wasn't great, but he knew, coming out of Georgetown, he knew how to post up. So now I'm looking at this.
I feel like they still got to fine tune that with Mitch.
Well, that's what I'm saying about.
Yeah, he signed that extension, and when he sets that pick and he rolls to the basket, he open, they used to just throw it up there. I don't know if that's a point guard to big man kind of ESP or.
It's people who want the ball themselves. Like, I want to pass it, but I want to, that's what's been happening to him lately.
I always wondered, do people just not know how to get it to you in the post?
Nah.
I know RJ looked a couple of times at Mitch, and Mitch had it where, you know, he was behind the man with his hand out.
Mm-hmm. They didn't give him that.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like players don't know, like, I'm a big man, this is what I do.
No, he's just not proven yet for that. I saw that too in this game. That's a play we can go outside and do right now. But if a person don't have confidence in you, he got to earn that one in practice. And they need to discuss that. But the reason why I was bringing up Othello Harrington is that he can teach Mitch, when you got your man down there, how to pin him down there. Where like that one possession where this was all it was. So you almost got to throw it to him now. And then he make his move. But a guy like Othello can take him down there and show him, when people are rotating around on the court, how you can rotate around in your man from the weak side and pin him. And now give me the ball, let me do what I do. You know, if whatever it's assortment of moves or not. But the one behind the man, that's an IQ thing that people, they could make the pass if they want to make the pass.
Because almost like I remember when we was younger, well, I was younger, I remember you kind of like screaming at the person or the point guard like, yo, this is what I do, throw it to me. Yeah. Like, I'm going to go get it. Like, just throw it up so where he can't get it, but I'm going to go get it. And you always got to beg the point guard or the shooting guard to throw it to you down there in the post. And sometimes they just don't know how. They just throw the ball away, or they don't know how to get it to you. They try to bounce pass it to you.
Well, it's chemistry. It's chemistry and it's conversation. Because I remember even in when I worked at the Berries, and this is just something off note right quick. It was a kid there named Glenn. Glenn didn't really play basketball, but he always ran to the rim. Always ran and jumped. So I could be dribbling the ball at the top, going this way. Once I see him running to the basket, I know he's not going to stop. So I would just throw it up to the rim every single time. And he didn't catch it and dunk it, but he would catch it and lay, clap boards and lay it. That's just knowing your team. You know, the same thing when we talk about with my friend Tim, I could throw it over the top to him every time because he already knew, even if I'm not looking. Once he's pinned his man in front of him to the basket, then I just throw it. So that's just like an ESP thing that guys gotta get down in practice, and that's what preseason is for. But what also stood out to me in that game is going to be a fight for minutes, because Grimes wasn't there in that first game, and it's still.
I kind of liked how he did it though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we worked our mind. We wrote on paper to see what our starting lineup would be, and that first rotation that they had, I wasn't even mad at it. Like, there was a couple of things where I was like, how is this going to work? Yeah. I wasn't even mad when they did the substitutions and Obi and Reddish came in at the same time. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, I like that too.
I was like, why we didn't? Maybe because Grimes is not there.
Yeah, because Grimes is not there.
But it made us feel good because this is like something in the preseason that's not going to happen is McBride. McBride probably not going to get those minutes. Now, but the way it looked, I don't even care about the tight rotation if it looked like that.
No, it ain't gonna look like that though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not with all the other. Not with like Trevor Kills and all them coming in. I meant with like at least McBride getting some of the playing time. But now it's almost like, damn, we got overkill.
Yeah, only because of.
I mean, I remember what you said last week. You said we not depth until we start.
Yeah, but it's the minutes. That's why. I like the same thing you like. I like how everybody got in there, but again, regular season, it won't be that much. It won't be that much time because. Everybody gonna play more minutes. The starter's gonna play more minutes.
But it's funny because we all, as fans, and I guess I'm gonna say the media, we all rooting and looking at the same stuff. Like when Reddish went down hurt, we was like, oh no. Yeah. I seen Derrick Rose ask him, "You all right?" And Derrick Rose looking at the bench like, I think we might have to take him out. We like, damn, if he don't play, he's not gonna get these minutes back.
Nah, yeah.
Like we know something's gonna have to happen. I know we're gonna probably get that later, but. If Reddish is not going to get that time, Grimes was like, who? Yeah, Harstein looked good too. Like, I was scared for Mitch. I was like, damn.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody else said that to me too. Now, again, we're going to get to that, right?
My bad, y'all jumping around. But
no, it's not jumping around.
It's a lot to unpack.
No, we can go to that because the Hartenstein thing, because somebody was also saying that to me, and that's what we do sometimes as Knicks fans. Like, as soon as somebody else come along, we always ready to ditch the other one.
But
like,
no, I'm not saying ditching.
No, not ditching, but I mean time, because what the tone that Mitch sets with that first unit is needed, right? His defensive prowess around that basket and those pick and rolls, and he says he's going to work on his screens, to make better screens. That's needed in that first unit. Hartenstein's development and the way he plays is more needed for that second, even though he can get some first units.
True.
First, because in that first unit, RJ,
it looked like a new style of play.
JB and Randall going to get most of the shots in that first unit. So, for instance, the first game, everybody was looking for Hartenstein popping out. It was like he was and I was so happy.
I didn't even have to scream like he's open. He was dead.
But now fast forward to the Indiana game, he got a couple of shots at the end of the game. They wasn't looking for him the same way. It's almost like he was not being froze out on purpose, but guys still trying to find their rhythm and get themselves going. So
I think in the Pacer game, I think this was a matter of just getting people reputations. Cause I think they said Reddish started. Like I turned it on a little bit late. But they said Reddish started.
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
because I was even shocked he was in the game because I just assumed he wasn't going to play as a precaution because they said they're going to take extra precautionary steps.
Well, let me go into with Reddish. Reddish started, but it was like he wasn't even there at most times. Like that's the kind of stuff where it has to be worked out. That Indiana game is and there was a lot of highlights.
What they did play, I noticed in the Pacer game, even though we won, they did play a lot of the players that just wasn't going to play. Like
no, that was in the first game. They didn't do that in the second game.
I'm talking about the Pacer game.
Nah, that was at the end of the game.
That was at the
because I was
early. I was checked out after I felt like there was Trevor Kills and all them was in there.
That was in that
at the
came
end of the Pacer game. I mean,
I feel like
all through the game. I felt like a lot of them. I'm like, they're not even going to play that much.
I don't know. I know they didn't.
Nah.
No, because when I left the Pacer game, it was like 3-4 minutes to go. The one from Villanova. He came in with around 6-7 minutes to go. No, I thought they played our guys deep into the fourth.
Yeah, maybe so. Because I felt like when I was watching, after a while, I was like, they just had the bench in there.
They played our guys deep into the fourth quarter. Because now you don't know what they're gonna do the last two. Only thing that concerned me about the first, and that Indiana game was full of highlights. I know everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the way, my concern though, was it was just so many times they went, like one time I counted, it was 6 times straight where they came down and went one-on-one, like one pass one-on-one, or whoever had the ball one-on-one. And that could be contributed to finding your rhythm as an individual player. But it was our 3 stars that did it. It was Randall, Brunson, and JB.
What they still doing, which didn't really concern me this time around, was Randall still, if he got the rebound, he would go down court. RJ get the rebound, he go down court. I remember last year I didn't like it. Last year I'm like, just give it to the point guard and let him bring it down.
All right, let me tell you something else I seen, and you go back to that point. There was another stretch where Randall brought it down like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, all right.
Like again, they're all finding their rhythm, but identity got to be set.
No bad habits.
It's got to be set.
I didn't like was Fournier. Like, I don't know. Like, he should just get the ball and just shoot. All the extra stuff he do, we don't need him to do that.
Yeah, we need him to shoot.
We just need him to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, don't do all the Kobe stuff. Just shoot the ball.
Yeah, there was one instance though.
Like I was like, somebody got to just say something to him. Like,
but individually they got to say something to all of them.
Yeah, all of them,
including Brunson. There's things that they all got to do to make sure this team is successful. But yeah, Fournier, he's our sniper, and right now we just need you to be that sniper.
Well, with Brunson, that's gonna go to his head because even with Stephen A, Brunson already said, "Listen, I'm not your savior." But then you get Stephen A like, oh, save the Knicks. Then you probably get the players that's like, yo, this is year 4 or 5. We just trying to get a ring. They all say, no, we trying to get a ring. Forget just making the playoffs. We trying to get a ring. The only person that looks like it's our hope is Brunson. So I'm not saying it's going to his head, but that dude got to work your nerves a bit to say, I got to score. Like, I got to be D Rose of his time. Because if I'm not, I don't know what we're going to look like. That first game showed like, all right, maybe.
Well, I tell you, he looked off.
I'm in the guard. I'm hot.
He looked off a lot of people in that Indiana game too, to create his shot. And I think that's something that that's going to have to be addressed because I'm interested in this next game that we play to see, like we talk about how we think Brunson's going to be. And somebody said something to me, Dave, we used to play ball with. I was talking to him on the phone the other day, and he said something, and it made sense for me because I'm trying to believe in Brunson. Like, I know what he can do. And then he was like, I love Brunson, but I'm not going to overhype what he can't do. Because I think Brunson needs to up his assists. Okay, Brunson's never been an assist guy. But on our team, that's one of the things you're going to have to do on our team. Because you're going to have to exploit our shooters for us to win on a continuous basis. But it's just that Brunson didn't have as command of the game against Indiana that he had against Detroit. Because there were so many times that RJ and Randall had the ball and brought the ball up that Brunson was almost like non-existent at times. And then when he got it, he was making a move for himself. So that a lot of that, again, is preseason. You're not overthinking it.
I think, too, this is a new game, right? And we're talking about what our players can do. But I think these new players know in the current NBA that these players can shoot and take you to the hole. They do multiple things. When they play the Knicks in the scouting report, I think they know all our players pretty much can shoot. Because I know this three-point shot ain't there for us like that. You know what I mean? At least with Golden State, they are creating their own shot. It just look good because as soon as somebody open, they're not selfish enough just to throw the shot up. We just throw the shot up and just create our own shot that way instead of just, all right, we not open, but he just got open because I'm putting so much pressure on the team. Until we start getting that, I think I'm kind of cool with this for right now because at least they trying to hit the open man.
Yeah,
but they got to learn to, I dribble. I'm trying to get open. I can shoot this mid-range, but then now all of a sudden Hartenstein is open. Let me just hit him. And then or swing it around. Hartenstein get it. All right, Randall's over here. Randall get it. That's what Golden State does.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference with, and we got a lot of similarities to me to Golden State with this team. The thing that Golden State got is that those are part of their plays. Those guys are not open. They open by design. The way they run in their plays, their weak side ball movement or their weak side activity is just as strong as the ball side for them. So you get caught watching that ball, then you assed out with Golden State because everybody got an assignment, and that person that's open, he's designed to be open. Our guys are open because we want them to drive, kick, swing till you find the open man. They say the ball finds the open man. And remember, even when we first got Randall and the Morris twin, and we was like, we got to make people open, and that's what the good teams do. They know who their shooters are. Yeah, they might not be the first option, but we know once we run in our clicks, and we know that you're the second and third, the ball's coming to you. Just be ready to shoot. So that's the similarity that we got with Golden State. But the other concern though that I had for this team is also our down low play. We know we can run. Okay, they're gonna work on that. They're gonna clean that up more because I liked how the ball advanced up. It went to the guy at the rim, and then even the guy trailing, they throw it back to the guy trailing. That's old Miami stuff with LeBron and Wade. So we see they're gonna develop that quicker. But in our half court set, we got to be able to get our big men more involved because even Hartenstein was trying to set the screen for the pop. I can see that he was really waiting for the ball. So he didn't get it as much in this game as he did in the first game. But again, we got to make our big men more inclusive. It's got to be an effort that.
But that would still come with if Hartenstein goes to set that pick and pop, and it's not there, but he is capable of taking it to the hole. That would keep the players on their toes. Or like, he can do that. I can, like Karl Anthony Towns, or I can muscle my way down there and get a point. If Robinson goes, sets that screen, and rolls to the basket, and even if it's not an alley-oop, you throw it down there so he can muscle his way to the paint. That creates that dynamic. Until we start doing that,
we got.
Those are the little things I was talking about. Like Fournier come out, get the ball, he should just pull it. He's stopping and trying to be a playmaker. He shouldn't do it. Robinson goes down, rolls to the basket. Just because it's not an alley-oop shouldn't mean you shouldn't throw him the ball. If he's open, or if not force it to him, but get it to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to force up that layup or that floater, Let the big man force it up and do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
he's a big man for a reason.
And I want to see them post them too, though. Bring them from the weak side and post them. But even with
Hartenstein, put that into play.
Right, that's what I mean. We got to do it now before the season starts. So now everybody can work on. The guards can work on the entry pass, and then the recipient can work on the move, depending which way I'm going to go, or if I got to throw out of it, like to draw the double team or something.
Yeah, that's back to the basics. If I throw it to the big man, he's cooking my teammate. Instinct gonna tell me if they throw it to him, let me drop down a little bit. But if you never throw it to him down there, I don't even got to move. Defense easy for me.
Yeah.
But now I don't even got to move off my man. This is why we're not getting them open threes like we say we are. Little stuff like that. Like I don't even. It's too easy. I don't got to move.
Yeah, and we got
now y'all working hard
because we got guys. Everybody can score. The 4 around the perimeter on our team, everybody can score. Our starting unit and our second unit. So now it just becomes a fact: are you a willing passer? Because look at the first game, right, with Hartenstein. He pop out. First he was getting it, and then he pop out, and then the guard that gave it to him cut. He was hitting him, right, for the layup. Then he started getting it, popping the 3. So now in the guard's mind, wow, if I throw it to him, I'm not getting it back.
He hit 2 in a row.
You know? Yeah. So it now becomes, are you willing? How much are you really willing to sacrifice your shot for the greatest shot, or your ball movement for the greater ball movement? So that's what. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, both them games were nice. So we ain't taking. I'm not taking nothing from that. What I'm saying is that it's not going to be fool's gold neither. I hope we taking this preseason to clean up those little things, so when we get into the season, remember we played Detroit and Indiana. And even in the Indiana game, Duarte, who we also wanted to draft, he was having his way with us.
Yeah.
Either at the 3-point line or driving to the basket. So it's a lot of things that we gotta be able to shore up, because when there's a better team and they designed to drive to the basket, so we got to get that going. But I got a feeling too, this team is also definitely going to really rise to the level of the competition. I just feel that, because I like Obi. I like where Obi's going. And so I watched somebody's podcast a week or two ago, and then he was saying, I don't want to hear that word development. Because remember we kind of was saying that a few weeks ago. Nah, he was just saying that I liked it because I want to see them develop as a season goal as a team. But as far as playing somebody just to develop them, no. You out there for your skill level.
True. For
what you could do and what you bring. I'm saying this part. For what you do and for what you bring to the team. I was glad to hear somebody else say it. But I want to see the team develop. But as far as an individual guy, we're not putting you in there for your development. We put you in here because you could do this, this, and this. And we need this, this, and this from you. Like, get in there and play. Like, everybody fighting for the minute. So if you get it, you got to cherish it. Because it's somebody behind you.
Yeah, when I think about development, I'm thinking about how strong the player is looking, how the shot is developing, if they actually doing moves. So like LeBron James, I always come at him. Remember back in the day, I was like, all he do is put his head down and go to the basket. Or then he just stand there and shoot. Yeah. He ain't really doing much, and then he go train with this person, Melo, and come back. Yeah. And now all of a sudden he's actually doing moves. He ain't look the prettiest, but he actually sitting there doing a post move. That's what I mean by development. You know what I mean? Not anything, not him just getting thrown in the game. Yeah. Because for all that, then quickly did that. Like, we just kind of just threw him in there because we had to, and he developed. Remember, he started doing that stupid floater, but now he's starting to, you know what, let me get to the basket and take this contact.
Yeah. And he did the floater quite a bit too the last game.
Yeah, but the floater part of his play, but at least he didn't just dwell on that. He went for, 2 points, 3 points. Yeah. Instead of him just floating it up, trying to stay away from contact, flopping on the floor. That was getting a little out of hand.
And we got to see what we look like when Quentin Grimes come back. We got to see what our team and our rotations are going to look like. I liked I didn't know Reddish was going to play. To see him in that starting lineup, to me it just looks good. Because he's 6'8". He was there as the 2 guard. Remember I said most of our guys, they're 2 guards by nature.
So now I'm glad you bring this up. I don't have my nose down, but I looked at Randall's numbers, right? And I'm looking at the rumors still. So let's talk a little bit about the rumors. Okay. Like, it's Randall and Fournier were still on, like, they might be looking for a new place for them to go, to trade him. And then I was like, do we really care about that right now? But then if Reddish is going to play, we either going to find somebody better than Reddish, or we going to move Reddish to that starting spot and have somebody that's at least good enough to come off the bench.
Grimes.
Yeah. And then, but Grimes, if we're going to move Fournier, that means you just find somebody good enough after Grimes. You know what I mean? Or you're going to try to find somebody better than Grimes. So that's really, our team still looks good because Randall's numbers didn't really show much.
No, it didn't, but
he had like 15 points or something like that.
First game he had like around 18 or something. But see, that's the thing with having Randall right now with this team. To me, with this team, Randall fits. Only because, and I say this the past year, the other team, as long as you have Randall on your team, the other team are going to scheme for him. It don't matter how good Reddish and all them get. They might pay attention to RJ, but they're going to scheme for Randall. That frees up everybody else to do what they do. You take Randall out, now when you really come to that bump in the road, who are you going to? I'm talking about like, yeah, we know RJ can get it, and then he can rock you and then make his move. But that's not a go-to play. Everybody else got their skill because they can all shoot the ball.
See, but now the bigger question is, we could say that, are they really scheming for Randall, or is Randall just doing it to himself? Because, like I said, for these past 2 preseason games, he wasn't the main. My eyes didn't draw to him. No. So how long do you think he's going to put up with that?
The other team, we talking about the other teams, in their scouting reports, it's Randall. It's take Randall try to get Randall out of the game. Like most teams, whoever the star player is, whether he's a real star or not, you go to Toronto, you're trying to neutralize Pascal Siakam. You know, you go to...
When you go to state, I think...
No, go to state, you got superstars. I'm talking about guys that don't have... guys that got like 3-level all-stars like Randall.
Okay.
When you go to them teams, they still... Now, they got guys on Toronto that as good as Siakam. But when you playing them, you focus on that guy first. Randall's the guy that the other teams focus on first. Regardless of what our fans say. You know, sometimes what's in our head, what we want. And the other teams say the same thing. They scheming for Randall. Yeah, they're going to keep an eye on, they ain't worrying about nobody else. So when you take Randall out of that equation and you don't replace it, have you really, now the word develop, have you really developed somebody to step into that star role? Because it's a role that a star plays, not just how good he is. It's the star role. Has somebody stepped into that star role that could command all that attention? Or we just going to come down, stop their break. We know they're going to try the ball movement, get in the passing lane. We don't got no down-low game, so you take that away. At least Randall keeps 2 eyes, maybe 3 over there on Randall, so that the other guys on the weak side can do their thing.
Yeah, but I was confident in Brunson and RJ. When you talk about development, I would still look at Obi and be like, man, that jump shot, you gotta.
Well, you
gotta do something with that.
Yeah, but it's also got to be manifested though too. We got Obi. Obi's looking real good. Like he started hitting his jump shot in the end. He shot a lot of air balls or over the basket shots early in the game against Indiana. Then late in the game, you know, the lead is already established, comfortable. Now you're hitting them. But we need within those games, we need to be able to say, okay, we're running this play, but it's designed to go this way for Obi to catch it, knock down the 3. Or Obi, you get it, give your man a jab step, blah, 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 knock down the 3. When we get those, now we can say, we can start fulfilling some of that, you know, prophecy of having a guy that could do some of the things that Randall do to command the other team's attention. We have to have that. Yeah, we're going to get out and run. I pray to God we get out and run. But when the game slows down and the stuff get tight, it seems like Randall at times, even if he's not making a shot, he comes through as he's being that man that we could go to. And people don't like him. I don't care y'all don't like him. But the reality is Randall is the guy that other teams try to stop first.
Yeah.
And everybody got a guy like that. So the Knicks, to me, these last 2 preseason games, we should more try to focus on some of our half-court stuff. In fact, my like for the early going, like I was looking at what one of the things I think that we needed to be successful, like 3 keys. And then one of them was since we're on the subject of some of that, the perimeter weak side defense. Mm. And it was more evident to me in the Indiana game because we got so many steals in the first game. Mm. You know, everybody was like, but we was getting so low to sleep on the weak side, we still not getting back. You know, the weak side perimeter shooting, they were just killing us on. Mm. Either get it to shoot it or get it to drive. So, you know, we got to shore that up. Mm. For, you know, and every year we had that problem. But definitely for now, Tibbs said in his interview before the season, when they talked about how the defense went down the year before, he said that the last 15 games of the season or something, we were in the top 5 in almost every category in defense. Mm. So now let's start the season. But if we can work on that weak side defense, that'll help us too with our numbers, you know, because the eye test is I want to see us shut somebody down. Mm. The other thing is our precision in the half court. You know, we talked about when we coming down, when we run our set, what are we actually running? Like, where's the ball going? Who's it going to? And what's the play? Before it got to get kicked out to all the shoot. What's our half court set? Mm. Let's be more precise in that. And then the other thing is, even though we had a lot of assists, especially the first game, we had 27, I think our team assists got to go up. I think we should average between 30 and 35 assists per night to be successful on this team because we got so many shooters. And because, again, Randall might be the guy that they may be targeting to stop. We don't got that real go-to star. So let's make sure that everybody eat and make sure that ball keep popping around till it get to our right shooters and get our team assists up on a regular basis, especially the days when all 3 don't have it going. You know, those moments in the games when all 3 of them are not clicking, at least we know that our assist ratio can still be up. So, and that's what we could be like Golden State. If we know we rotating that ball around to get it to open men. But for me, those first 2 games, they both was excellent to watch. And just as a fan, I was enjoying watching it. And which I'm going to try to do more this year. Try to do more watching and less critiquing, you know, just to enjoy the season. You know. So I don't know what you want to add to that. But, I think that the Knicks are going to have a good year this year. I think Tibbs going to be on top of them. He called 3 timeouts in the early going the other night in the third quarter just to straighten that mess out. And then they were off and running again. Because I think the emphasis this year is that we don't want to lose the third quarter. Yeah. And both times we came out pretty good in the third quarter. So, you know, let us know what y'all think. You know, the Knicks is back. We're going to be coming to y'all hopefully more often. But look for our show every Monday. And like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you made it to the end, put the coffee mug in the comments. I know you was here.
Peace.
Peace.